I get to do a documentary. Is that not cool? So what do I get to do a documentary of now? Well, this video is going to be entitled The Great Gallbladder Saga of 2020, because it's 2020 and why not? So yesterday I finally said enough and I went to the emergency room because I've had a migraine for 4 days now, something like that. Well, no big deal there. You know, I have migraines all the time, and it's not like I don't know the cause, because one of my closest friends on the planet just died on Thursday. So, you know, there's that. And then, let's see, every one of my kids has some serious stuff going on right now. And so there's that. And then, you know, haven't been able to sleep, so that's going to compound into a migraine. And then we have back pain. What's going on with the back now? So, like my aunt said, oh, what now? Because apparently I'm just one stitch away from completely falling apart. So I've had this gnarly pain in my back. It's right about there. And I'm thinking that it's, you know, probably some kind of a muscle issue or something like that, because of lugging giant children around or something like that. So I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, I guess, and it's been going on for a while. So he gives me tramadol and naproxen and tinzidine. I don't know, it's some kind of a muscle relaxer. Well, muscle relaxers never have done anything for me, so I don't bother with them. And naproxen's an anti-inflammatory. I don't really like to take it, but I will if I have to. The tramadol gets to the point where I have to take 3 of them at a time just to kill it, and you know, this is not fun. So, okay. He says, well, what have you done for it? What haven't I done for it? I've tried not lifting massive child so much. I've tried serums that I made, and he laughed at that one and said, when you say serum, it sounds like you're cooking up something in a big black pot. I said, who said I didn't? I've tried salt baths. I've tried everything I could. It'll help for a little bit, and then it comes right back. So it gets to a point where I can't sleep, nearly in tears with trying to sleep. And then, okay, so we need to do something about this, because all of this is compounding the migraine. It's great stuff. So I went to the ER yesterday, told them what was going on, and they ordered a CT, blood and urine. My blood and my pee are fine. Nothing's wrong there. And so they came back with the CT. And after they loaded me up on, I had 2 doses of Dilaudid, Toradol, and I have such a high tolerance for narcotics, it doesn't do anything. So they loaded me up on Toradol, and I've got a script for hydrocodone, which isn't going to do anything anyway. There's not much of a point in even taking it. So, and they came back and they said, well, your gallbladder is impressively packed full of stones. They said, did you know about this? Well, yeah, I knew about it. He said, compared to other CTs that you've had, this is actually only getting worse. They're growing quite a bit, and compounding even more. So, okay, so it's just time to go ahead and get the gallbladder to go bye-bye. I've been putting it off because I thought it was a big surgery, and that's not something that's very conducive to life. So, I knew about it. I first found out about it back in 2005. I was early pregnant with one of my kids, and I had made a dinner. I made a dinner of my death in a bowl potato salad, which was basically a pound of bacon and all the grease and everything mixed in, and I don't make it very often, but it's really good when I do. And I made chicken cheese things, which are chicken breasts wrapped around mozzarella. So I made those, and apparently my gallbladder said, "Oh no, I hate you now." So we went and did I ended up in the ER, and they said, "Well, you need to have your gallbladder out now." And I said, "But I'm pregnant, so what's that going to do?" And I said, "Well, there's a very high possibility of miscarriage at this point." And I said, "See you later." No. And I always said that I'll deal with it when I need to deal with it. Well, I need to deal with it now. They compared it to other CTs that I've had, and it's, like I said, it's showing that it's growing quite a bit. So the doctor said, it's really not that big of a deal, given that you've already got all the CTs and everything. It's a matter of you make a phone call to this doctor. This doctor says, okay, let's compare our calendars here. We get you on the schedule. We pop the sucker out. It's a day surgery. And from what I understand, you're sore for about a week. So we will get to, there's construction workers across the street, and they're seeing me talking to my phone, so they're probably thinking that I'm out of my mind. Good morning. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to find out what this process actually is. And I figured, why the hell not? Let's make a fun little documentary in the process, because, like I said, my aunt said, what now? Follow up on the appointment stuff with the gallbladder bit today, and the video we recorded this morning. Today is Monday, I think. Monday, August 10th of 2020, and I have an appointment with the surgeon for the 27th, August 27th, but because of the situation, they put me on the urgent list, and so they're going to call me and let me know if I can get in any sooner. So we shall see. As far as pain goes right now, the ER doctor wrote me some hydrocodone. I think I said that earlier. Whatever, I'll take them if I absolutely have to. I'm not a fan. They don't do anything to me. I just don't particularly care to take them. And then my son-in-law got me some, I told him I needed some, I'm not a big weed smoker. I've never been able to find a good blend that I'm happy with. I do not like the high at all. It's not my thing. I want to be completely clear-headed and just not have pain in my body. So I've tried a couple different things before. I've tried CBD oils and fun things like that, and it's not doing anything. So, I think he managed to get me a blend that actually works. I tried it last night, took 2 hits. I think it was a little bit much. It didn't sit real well, but I didn't get high or anything. So this morning I took a smaller hit, and that seems to be okay. So I'm holding off on that. And then he got me something that can help me sleep, but I have to be really careful with that, and I'll test it. I'll test it when it's safe, so that I can make sure that it's not something that's going to knock me out, because I don't want to, I can't put myself in a position where I won't be able to won't be able to take care of things at home or with my kids or whatever if I have to. So not gonna do that. So anyway, we will see how this progresses. Currently, my back hurts a lot. So August 19th. So I called my pharmacy to refill my prescription for Tramadol because I didn't figure that they would give me any more hydrocodone. Take about 2 of those suckers a day because the gallbladder hurts. Pain in the back is ridiculous. The nausea is ridiculous. So anyway, I called the pharmacy to get that refilled, and I got a call from the doctor's office that says, we just got a refill request on that, and if you're taking that many, we probably need to see you again. Okay, well, do you not actually look at the records when they come in? Because I know that the hospital sends over emergency room reports. Apparently not. So I said, well, actually I was in the ER and I had this thing go down, and you know, the gallbladder has to come out. Oh, well, okay. Well, let me talk to the doctor and find out what they have to say. As a matter of fact, they're calling now. Yep. Gonna give you 14 more. Get you through to your appointment next week. Not a junkie. It hurts. It's weird that it is in the back, and it's weird that there's so much freaking nausea. I mean, it feels like morning sickness all the time, and it doesn't stop. It's difficult to sleep with this crap. Fun. I do have the weed. It's a really, really low THC. It's got CBD in it. I don't know that it's doing any good. I don't know it's not doing any good. I don't like it, so I'm not smoking it much. Whatever. We'll see how this plays out. Oh, yeah. Peace out. I'm off to see the surgeon. The wonderful surgeon of gallbladders. I just woke up from a nap. Wish I was still asleep. I really hope that this is something that can get over with quickly. A speedy recovery. And I can get on the schedule for it quick, because this stuff is not fun. It hurts, and there's a hell of a lot of nausea. Just the nausea is ridiculous. See. Fingers crossed. We're on. Okay. COVID test on August 31st at 8:30. It's a drive-through. Do not miss this appointment, or we will have to reschedule all appointments. Pre-admit on the 1st, 10:45. That means I get to do all the paperwork and fun stuff like that they already have on file for everything, but I get to sign it all over again. Procedure. That is on Wednesday, which is 6 days from now. On September 2nd, arrival time. The hospital will call you by 3 the day before surgery to inform you of arrival time. Procedure prep. Nothing to eat or drink after midnight. That's always the fun part. Follow-up appointment is on September 8th. Cool. So, I get the, oh, gross. They're going to give me that Hibiclens stuff. Ugh, that stuff's just nasty. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Do not use lotions or deodorants after your surgery. I mean, why? Really? Because that's just... No. No. I mean, I'll obey the rules, but yuck. that's just, I mean, they want stinky people on the surgical table. I don't know, but ew. So anyway, at this point I have no pain meds. I have naproxen, which is, it's a freaking anti-inflammatory, and that's about it. It's not going to do anything. So to be determined on what comes next, but yeah. So it should be a quick in and out thing. He said that most people, like 98% of people, go home that day, which is what I'm expecting anyway. It's not a big deal. And there's a possibility of some kind of weird little stone hanging out in the duct, in the bile duct, but they check for that, and hopefully it's something that isn't there, and if it is, they can just zip it out pretty quickly after that, but it's an unlikely thing. So anyway, yes, he said she's been dealing with this for 15 years, so let's go ahead and get her scheduled. So onward and upward we go. So this is August 31st. I have a headache. No, I don't have a headache. I have a migraine that was 3 o'clock in the morning, and damn near wanted to come to the ER and do something about it. I wanted to grab scoops and hacksaws or something like that and get rid of it. Yeah, migraine. So anyway, I am at the hospital actually, but I am at the hospital for the drive-through COVID testing that I have to do. So surgery is the day after tomorrow. There is 5 or 6 lines of cars. The sign says hospital COVID testing for pre-surgical clinic patients only. No testing Sunday. So it's just a quick drive-through, and we go from there. So EA, cotton swabs, Q-tips to give me a lobotomy is coming up in just a few minutes. Good Lord, this nausea is no joke. I don't know if, I'm wondering if the migraines are being caused by having this, I mean, I would think that if a filtration organ isn't functioning properly, that there's got to be excess toxins and whatnot in the system, so I'm thinking that that might have something to do with why I'm getting the migraines. You know, a couple weeks ago I could understand, and I haven't been sleeping real well, so there's that, but I think I've been sleeping enough, and it's not abnormal for the amount of sleep that I'm getting. So, and I've been drinking enough water and everything, and those are my 2 main causes of the migraines. So that's the only thing I can come up with. But last night I woke up at about 1:30, and I couldn't get back to sleep until 4:30 with it, and I was thinking that, you know, this bastard is bad enough that I was considering going to the ER. And I absolutely hate doing that, because it's useless to go to the ER with a migraine. They pump you full of drugs that turns around and causes a migraine. So it doesn't do a whole lot of good, but damn, I mean, it was miserable. And I actually ended up getting up and cleaning for a while, because I figured I could lay in bed and, you know, try not to die, or I could do something, some kind of anything that was gonna help take my mind off of it. So I finally got back to sleep about 4, and then I got up again at 6 and had to go get that COVID test. So I read the papers and stuff that they gave me, and now I'm in self-quarantine until the surgery. So I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything, I can't really have contact with anybody, blah, blah, blah. They said that if the, you know, if it were to come back positive, of course the surgery is going to be rescheduled. But they'll only call if it is positive, and I've got no reason to think that it would be, so I'm not worried about that. But the nausea from this is, I can't figure out what is making me feel worse right now, if it's the nausea or if it's the migraine. So it's got a, the way it was explained to me is when something is in the stomach, and the only thing I've had today is coffee. So when something's in the stomach, the gallbladder wants to contract, and because it's so full of stones, it can't. So it's trying to say, well, if we can't process it, then it's got to go up or down. And in my case, it wants to try to come back up. I'm not actually vomiting, but I've never even had nausea like this with morning sickness, and that's how many pregnancies later. So this is really nasty. From what I'm hearing from people, it should be an immediate relief after the fact. So I'm anticipating they go in laparoscopically through the belly button, and then in the upper right quadrant they'll make a couple of holes for their tools and cameras and everything, and then I guess what they do is they put the gallbladder into a little bag of some sort and they pull it out through the belly button. So I've had the laparoscopic surgeries before, so if it follows suit with what to expect, is it's going to end up being it's going to end up feeling like I did about 10,000 sit-ups for a couple of days. I'll be fine, but I don't mind that nearly as much. That's more of a discomfort. It's really a neither here nor there. And I guess I'm not going to be able to lift, or shouldn't lift, over 20 pounds for a couple of days afterwards. He said most of the people are back to work within a week. It's not a big deal. So if I had known that this surgery wasn't a big deal, I would have had it done years ago. But I mean, it's at the point where I can't push it off anymore. It's just every day is miserable with this thing, and it just seems to be getting worse. I also did some research. I couldn't figure out why is it that the pain is in my back, because that didn't make a lot of sense to me when the gallbladder is actually located pretty much underneath the liver, and that's right up around the rib cage area, just beneath the rib cage. But I guess what can happen is there's a major nervous system, and this could also be another reason for the migraines, is there's a major nervous system that runs from along the spinal cord to the back of the head, and all my migraines they're typically on my right side of my head, and this sucker has been behind the eyeball, and the whole right side of my head just wants to glow. But there's if I understand it correctly, forgive me for the lack of medical knowledge here, but if I understand it correctly, the way it works is that it's kind of like a generalized nervous system. So it's not the specific, ouch, this area hurts. It's there's pain in here, there's something that's not okay here, so it just sends out this kind of like a general bulletin to the rest of the spinal column and the nerves around it to say that there's an ouch. And gallbladder pain will actually often manifest. It can manifest, of course, in the right quadrants, but it also will show up in the back in that specific spot that I'm having the problems in, and in the shoulder, and I guess both shoulders. And that's interesting because I've had a lot of shoulder pain over the last couple of years and not really knowing why. But, I always figured it was because of life, and, I'm pretty active and I lift a lot of stuff, and so I figured that that's probably the main cause. But so tomorrow I go in for pre-admit. If it's like what I've had before, it'll be go in, they get the information, the blah blah blah, they double check everything in the computer, what medicines are you taking, don't eat or drink anything after midnight. The hospital's supposed to call and let me know what time to actually show up for the surgery itself. And it's a day surgery thing, so I imagine it'll be probably fairly early in the morning. I'm gonna guess 8 or 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll probably be home by 3ish, and then just lay down, and I anticipate that on Thursday I'll just get up and more or less go about life in general as it is, and take it kind of a little easy. But other than that, I don't expect it to be that big of a thing. What else? Oh, and then I know tomorrow night I'll have to do that Hibiclens stuff, and that's nasty. It's a soap that they give you to kill the bacteria and everything. And then typically what they'll do is when you get into the pre-op room, they have you change and everything, and they give you these packets of stuff. And specific instructions on how to wipe the body down with this and that, and use this for that, and whatever. So, and it's sticky, and it's gooey, and it's icky and gross and yuck. But go home, and then you're not supposed to take a shower that day, and take a shower the next day. So get that off of me. And I really don't. I'm just really looking forward at this point to having this over with, because this sucks. It's ridiculous, and it's not something that I would wish on anybody. And for a teeny tiny little organ, my nephew said so if they can take pictures of it so we can compare it to what they found online. And I sincerely doubt that that's going to happen, but I imagine after the fact I can get a pathology report and find out exactly how many stones are in there, so that'll be kind of fun. So other than that, see how it goes. I'm going to sleep. Pre-op is done. I did that this morning. They did blood work, just run-of-the-mill CBC. Paperwork. I got there and had to actually wait for a little while because the paperwork wasn't ready for the labs. Check in tomorrow at 7:30. Want to be there by 7:15, but I have not gotten a call that I have COVID, so I'm pretty sure I'm fine. I get it. I mean, they have to do their testing. That's not a big deal. But the swab up the nose was, like a personal lobotomy. Migraine is much better today, and the nausea is nasty, but so that'll all be gone this time tomorrow. Yay! And then let's see. A friend is taking me and picking me up, and I anticipate just going in, taking a nap, snip, snip, stitch, a couple band-aids, come home, go to bed for a while. From what I understand, it's not it's not going to be that big of a deal of a recovery. I keep thinking that it's going to be, if it's like the others, it'll just be I'll feel like I did about 1,000 sit-ups for a couple of days, and you know, that's about it. So anyway, all good. I'll get my Hibiclens bath later, and no makeup, no jewelry. The earrings are not coming out. They can put tape over those. The nose ring is not coming out. They can put tape over that. And then I've got 2 rings that are fairly well stuck, so they can put tape over those, but they've done it before. It won't be a problem. So other than that, all good. See you tomorrow. It is surgery day. I did not sleep last night. Not nerves, I just couldn't sleep. Woke up with a raging migraine. Of course. So that's okay. I'll get a nap today. Took my bath. I haven't had anything, or my shower. Haven't had anything to eat or drink since early last night. I'm not supposed to. Not even a sip of water. So of course I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm as hungry as you can get, you know, which only ever happens when, you know, there's some reason why you can't eat. Really missing a big glass of water and coffee right now. But it'll be over soon, and I can't wait. I'm very excited about this today, just for the fact that it can be over and done with and go away. And I'm not taking anything to the hospital with me except my phone and the glasses on my face. Glasses are very heavy on my face. So, yeah. They don't help a migraine at all, but they're easier than messing around with my contacts. So, I've got a friend that's going to stay with me today and tomorrow, and I expect to wake up with a sore throat from the tube and a sore gut, and then back to normal before you know it. Yay! Okay, so it's almost time. He gave me something or other for the migraine, and it's got me a little bit loopy and sleepy. The migraine is the worst part about all of it, right at the moment. So they're going to take me back into the OR, and I get to climb on the table myself. I've done that once before. And be over soon. I'm looking forward to it. And I admit I am looking forward to a nap. So I know that everything's taken care of and everyone is loved and appreciated. It's routine surgery. It's a simple thing. I'm not even a little bit concerned about it. But, you know, there's always that odd chance that something odd could happen, so, which it's not going to. I am in the arms of the divine, and I know that. It's no big deal. But the cool thing is that the doctor just came in and he said that they will take the gallbladder and cut it open and show me the pictures. So I get to see the ooey gooey. I'm really looking forward to that. I said I wanted to know actually how many stones were in it,
And he said if it's as full as what the ultrasounds and everything are saying that it is, that's a lot of stones, so they're probably not going to count it. But we'll see. So, anyway, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out.
Just got home. The pain coming out of it around the incision sites is nothing. But there was a pain in my back that just would not quit. So they loaded me up on Percocet in pill form. And when that didn't work, they gave me Dilaudid. Went back to sleep for probably an hour or so. And now I'm home. And obviously I feel like crap right now. I did get pictures of it. From what I could count on the surface, it looks to be at least 35, and I believe that it's sitting over top of another pile. And each one of the stones is roughly the size of a quarter. So I am not sorry to not have that garbage in me anymore. So I'm going to go to sleep now and sleep off whatever these drugs are, I guess. Well, I'll be good. I look stoned and I sound stoned. I'm not. My mind is actually quite lucid. I just can't prove it by appearance. Morning. It is 5:20 a.m. post-op day 1. I didn't sleep much last night, but I think that's probably because my sleep schedule is a little screwed up. Got up, got a shower. I'm going about my regular chores. It feels like I've done too many sit-ups. I'm pretty tired, and yeah, I can tell I still have the drugs in me. They make my, for whatever reason, they kind of plug my ears. Yesterday was so-so. Sister was here. She spent the night with me, kept the little one in bed with us, and older child was very helpful. I was able to eat. We got pizza, so I had some pizza last night. Been drinking a lot of water. I feel like I can't get enough water. I did notice that I don't get on the scale very often, and so last time I got on the scale I was 183, and now I'm pushing 200, so I'm thinking that it's got to be toxins or something that's in me. My body's just not processing, so I'm expecting that weight's going to come off pretty quickly. So far so good. I took the bandages off this morning. There's some fairly big cuts and they were kind of bloody, but honestly I don't, like, I'm squeezing my stomach muscles together right now and they're not, it's not overly painful, and I do immediately feel better. I keep waiting for nausea to kick in and it's not. I'm sure I'll sleep quite a bit today, and husband's coming home, and he's going to be home for the next 5 days, I think, on to help. But this was not bad, and I'm really grateful to have had all the help that I've had and the understanding and support that I've had from everybody. My friends are my family, and my family is the most important thing to me, and I'm really hoping that this will be the end of my drama, and it'll allow me to have more energy and feel better and more able to take care of them. So this is some of the iodine is still on there, and there's some pretty decent bruising, but I mean it's really not bad. I thrashed around, and I guess I managed to dislodge that IV, so they had to go and do that IV, and that one's still pretty swollen, but I'm thinking by the time the bruising is gone, the yuck is going to be gone. So having held off on it for so long because I thought that it was such a major surgery didn't do me any favors. I did get pictures of it, and I don't know what the first page of pictures are. It's little pictures of insides. I don't know what I'm looking at. But they did show where they had cut open the gallbladder, and in it was the stones that I could count on top. There were 35 stones just from on the surface of what I could count, and each one of them is about the size of a quarter, and they're square. It's kind of weird, or square-ish, but they're pretty gross. And yeah, I'm okay with them not putting them in a jar and sending them home to me. So there you go. I have been sleeping quite a bit. I am unbelievably tired. I wonder if some of it might be the Percocet, which I've never had a reaction to it before, but I wonder if maybe it's making me pretty drowsy this time. So I still have hydrocodone left over, and I'm thinking that I'm going to save the Percocet for nighttime, and if I need pain pills tomorrow, which I'd really like to get off of them, I will just stick with the hydrocodone. So I keep getting, oh, I can't believe how good you look. Well, I've been getting up, I'm getting a shower. I did take a bath last night, but I kept the water under the incision sites. So I'm staying clean, and yesterday I got up early in the morning and I did all of the chores, all of the laundry's done. And by chores, I mean every day I vacuum and dust, upstairs and downstairs. The beds are all made. All the bedrooms are cleaned. 3 bathrooms are cleaned. Porches are cleaned off. Plants are watered outside. Trash is taken out all over the house. Litter box is cleaned out. I keep a really clean house, so that's important to me, and that's how I rest best. And I've been getting a lot of help. My sister was here, and she spent the night of the surgery, and she took care of my little guy. And then my nephew came over yesterday, and we went to the grocery store, and they did the heavy lifting and everything for me. And my husband came home, and he's going to be off for a couple of days, so he can be home helping out with everything. I call him my jailer, because he doesn't want me lifting anything heavier than a marshmallow. So he is taking care of quite a bit of everything around the house. And then my older son did the vacuuming and dusting for me today on both floors, and I wiped down the bathrooms, and
you know, I am up and dressed and, you know, put my face on. So it feels like I've done about 10,000 sit-ups, and you know, it's really sore, and some of the incision sites are still a little bit oozy and bloody. A lot of bruising. Other than being sore and tired, I feel so much better. Haven't had the migraines, thank you. I haven't had the back pain, which is wonderful, and the nausea I haven't had. I'm craving water, and I think that is probably, I think between the tired and the craving water is probably nature's way of forcing me to slow down and flushing the toxins and working on healing. So these are the Band-Aids as of today. The bruising's gone down quite a bit, so already the bruising's gone down, so they're not too bad. No stitches, at least externally, that I can see. If I have any, they're probably the dissolvable kind. So all in all, yeah, this was definitely a good move. It was the right move to make. I'm happy that I did it, and shouldn't be too long before we're up and running. We are planning on taking our son and nephew up to the city Monday, and we'll go to the big attraction is going to the Halloween store. That's really the only time of year that we get to do regular house shopping for us. So far so good. Hola. We went out today and actually Halloween shopping. Spirit Halloween stores are open, and that's a big deal for my family. So we gathered up the tribe and had a nice day out. My stomach is sore, but it's more the incision sites that hurt. They're not, it feels like right about here there's well, and that's where they rip the gallbladder out, but that's where it's a little tender right there, but the rest of it is just pretty much the incision sites and the feeling of if it's been drilled down through muscle, which probably feels that way because it's been drilled down through muscle. Other than that, my back is fine. I haven't had Band-Aids on the incisions for a couple of days now. I feel like I'm getting energy back. It's still really sore. It only feels like I've done too many sit-ups now as opposed to thousands of too many sit-ups. So I was able to go and have a nice day with my family, and I decided yesterday that I was going to come back to life. So with the exception of lifting heavy things, because don't lift over 20 pounds, and my son is well over that, so I'm back to doing all my normal chores. I vacuum and dust upstairs and downstairs every day. I clean 3 bathrooms. I take care of my yard. I sweep and hose off the porches. I clean the kitchen, clean the living room, and mop, and I mean, I do that every day, so I'm back to doing all my normal stuff, which is fine. My husband helped me out quite a bit, and I'm not feeling any issues with pushing the vacuum or anything like that. So I think that, you know, tomorrow life goes back to normal, husband goes back to work, and I'm ready for it. I haven't had the pain in my back, the nausea. Thanks, sweet baby Jesus, is So I haven't had to deal with that. I have noticed changes in eating, not what I'm able to eat, because I don't seem to have any problem with greasy stuff or I mean, I don't eat a lot of greasy stuff anyway, but anything with like a high fat content or milk or anything like that, none of that's been a problem. But I notice that I can't eat much unless I really want to feel way too full, and that gets pretty uncomfortable. So I haven't been eating much, and then I've never been a night eater or a middle of the night snacker. But for the last several nights, I've needed to get out of bed and about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, just go down and get something to eat. Very unusual for me. I don't know if that's related to all of this or if it's something different. But so here is the current damage. So there's an incision right here, and some of these are actually rips from the band-aids, but that was an incision, and let's see, that was an incision, and then there's one there, and then one there, and then went through the top of my belly button, and then this, where's it at? Might be a little too low. Okay, so right there, that's just the heparin shot. But that is, so this is now Monday night, and I had the surgery on Wednesday. So the swelling's gone down quite a bit. Granted, I'm laying down, and it's still swollen, but it's not overly tender. I don't look like I'm 6 months pregnant anymore, and that's a good thing. I'm about to go try to put my belly ring back in, and I've had that for almost 20 years, but he did slice right across the top of it, so I'm hoping that I can get it back in without any problems. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and conclude my documentary on the great gallbladder adventure of 2020, and we'll call it good, and I'll put this sucker together, and maybe it's helpful for somebody out there at some point in time. Maybe it's not. Is what it is, and I don't regret having the surgery. I regret not having had it sooner. So, all in all, yeah, I'd recommend it, and I wouldn't recommend needlessly suffering. If there's, quarter size 35, at least 35 stones the size of a quarter. My follow-up appointment is tomorrow sometime, so I might do one little touch-up after add another video after I do this one. In fact, I probably should, just to see what the doctor says. But other than that, all said and done, and hey, I'm glad it's over with. So thank God. Bye.
Hey, so I feel like shit. Like, if I could have been run over through a shit pit, squished, made into the shit, become part of the shit, and then took a bath in the shit, that's kind of how I feel right now. I think I overdid it when I went shopping the other day, and then I really screwed up yesterday morning I didn't sleep at all the night before. And I woke up about 4 o'clock and I was hurting so bad. So I took 2 of the Percocet. And I've never had a problem with narcotics. I don't like them, but I've never had a problem with them. These, for whatever reason, seem to make me really sleepy. So, dummy me, I screwed up. And at about 4 o'clock in the morning, I took 2 of them. When I woke up, I was still hurting really bad. So, it was too soon to take anything else, and I didn't want to anyway. So, my dumbass, being 40 years old, not knowing how to properly smoke pot, because it's just never been my thing. So I used some of the stuff that my son-in-law gave me, and apparently there's a little hole in the side of a glass pipe, and I discovered this, and I think I misunderstood him when I talked to him, because I also went and ground it up. I figured out that, you know, you're actually supposed to grind the stuff, so I did that. Well, apparently that gives you a lot more. And then I think I misunderstood that plugging that little hole gives a heavier hit. So by putting the same amount in from the little bud that I chipped off and plugging that little hole, I took 1 hit off of it, and not my thing at all. Yuck. So I don't know what the deal was, but I felt like crap yesterday. I absolutely felt like crap, and it was, I just don't do well with pain meds or weed, apparently. So I took it pretty easy yesterday, and then I'm trying really hard to come back to life. I did have my doctor's appointment, and he showed me the pictures, which I already had the pictures, but he explained to me more what I was looking at. And my gallbladder was sitting, I'm not even going to bother to show the pictures, they're gross, but my gallbladder was sitting like flopped out, like kind of that big, down outside of my liver, and I guess it's supposed to be hidden and tucked up like up underneath the liver. He said that would be a normal sized gallbladder for a 6'5", 300-pound man that doesn't have stones. I am not 6'5", 300 pounds. I'm 5'6½", and I claim that extra ½ inch. And I'm 190-ish, give or take. So it was gross. And he said, you know, stay at about 20 pounds lifting for the next week, and 40 pounds for a month, or under 50, I think is what he said. And then I should be fine after that, but I don't really lift anything over 50 pounds anyway. He said, you know, don't go moving sofas and chairs and things like that. So, you know, other than that, but I think I just overdid it and wanted so much to get back to normal, and I'm probably not doing myself any favors today, because I am a neat freak, and I like having everything nice and clean and in order and just so, and you know, so on and so forth. So I'm scrubbing my house top to bottom today, and I wasn't going to take anything at all. I've been trying to do a system flush with a lot of green tea and water and eating fruits and vegetables. So I've been working on that, and I said I wasn't going to take anything else. I took my normal meds this morning, but wasn't going to take anything else. And I finally caved. That hurt so bad that I took 1 hydrocodone, and they don't have any effects on me. They're fine, but I was taking 2 for the surgery recovery, and I went ahead and took 1 now. And because my guts just hurt so bad. But anyway, so we are now a week out of surgery, and it is what it is, and I am officially done with this little documentary now, and keep plugging on and get it out of the way and go back to normal. And hi, normal life from here on out. So there you have it. Take care.